Hey everybody, welcome to Invest in Your Health, where we talk about investing in your biggest asset, your health. Our guest today is Dr. Matt Walker, and we're going to talk a little bit to him and learn some tips to keep our pets healthy. I want to thank First Community Bank for giving us the opportunity to talk to you guys today. I've really been looking forward to this. So based on springtime, any recommendations for dog and cats based on this season?
Flea and tick medicine for sure. We are one of the leading states for both fleas and ticks. Arkansas is just blessed with all kinds of parasites. So, it's, and of course heartworm. Heartworm's a big one too where we're at. So it's one of those things that everybody needs to keep their animals protected. But this is when we start seeing a lot of, which a lot of people don't think about it, but late April and May is when we see like heat strokes, heat exhaustion, because the animals aren't really acclimated to the hot weather. So it's not really August and July when we see it so much. It's usually like late April and early May. So that's something to watch out for. Of course, mentioned snakes already. We've already had some snake bites, so kind of need to watch out for those kind of things. Pollen count's extremely high right now, so we're seeing a lot of itchy dogs, a lot of dogs with sneezing, coughing, so that kind of thing. There's a lot of really good medicines that dogs and cats can take for the allergies and stuff.
Oh, that's really, those are good things to think about. I guess pets have allergy issues just like humans.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, a lot of people are home more. They have a lot more time with their kids at home and with working from home a lot. Any recommendations with animals and with the owners being at home more?
I've seen a lot of our neighbors, getting out, walking their dogs more. I know we have. We've taken this opportunity to do that, and I think it's worked out well. Not just we were talking earlier about family, getting to do more stuff together because everybody's staying home, but the extended family, the pets. So I think the pets are benefiting because people are taking the time to spend more time, quality time with their animals and doing more things. So I think it's, blessing there.
Yeah, well, do you have any tips on training? If you got more time, you're like, well, maybe I can teach my dog to mow the lawn or something like that. Any tips there?
The training part that I guess I could say some of the pitfalls that we see with some of the training is a lack of socialization with animals, not getting exposed to a lot of different people, which right now can be a little bit tricky with some of the issues of staying home and stuff. But if they get that opportunity to get the puppies out and get them socialized, it's really important. Let them meet a lot of different people, all different sizes and ages, and make it so that animals are going to be warm when they see a stranger. Also, one of the things we've seen, we see a lot of dogs that have separation anxiety. A lot of those dogs that have separation anxiety are the ones that didn't really learn independence early on. So when they're puppies, I try to tell people you need to set aside time for those puppies to be by themselves where they can learn independence at an early age. We're talking 2 months, 3 months of age. The puppies that are with their owners 24 hours, 7 days a week, all the time, those are the ones that have a hard time when the owner does leave the house and go to the store and they come back and find the house destroyed. So it's good to separate the puppy from the owner every now and then. Put them in a safe location for a couple hours a day, just so they can learn that, oh, I'm going to be okay. So
yeah.
That's something else I think a lot of times people don't realize.
Any dietary recommendations for dogs this time of year, especially being at home? Are there any pitfalls or recommendations you have for us?
So a lot of people will want to spoil their dogs or give them things from the table, things that we eat. That's probably not the best thing. Better to stick with dog food. If you're going to give them something from the table, make sure that it's very minimal amounts. Stay away from high fat, greasy things, because those are the things that tend to really cause issues and problems like pancreatitis a GI upset. But the other thing too, I tell people this is if you've got a dog food that's working, don't change it. I think a lot of times people will think that dogs and cats need a change for whatever reason. They just, I don't know, they think that they need a variety, but oftentimes that's when we see problems, is when the animals go with a different food and then it's didn't sit well with them and they've got some GI issues, whether it be vomiting or diarrhea. So if the dog is happy with the food they're on and they're doing well, I wouldn't change it. I would stick with what's working. Also, be careful with treats. I tell everybody, try to buy treats that are going to be made in the United States. Some of the treats that come from other countries, they sometimes aren't going to be regulated as well, and so you really have to be careful. So and you have to look real careful on the packaging, because it may say distributed in Toledo, Ohio, but it actually might be made in China or something like that. So you have to be careful where it's made. But I try to encourage everybody to buy treats and food that's made in the U.S.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, that's definitely great tips. Are there any types of table food that you do recommend that we could give, or for sure don't give? Okay,
so yeah, pork products I usually say just don't give, because a lot of dogs, cats too, will not tolerate pork. So bacon, ham, sausage, I wouldn't even do it. Just avoid it altogether. Of course, there's a lot of toxic things out there. Chocolate, I think most people are aware of, and onions and garlic are bad for dogs too. Grapes and raisins, those are some of the ones you got to stay clear of. But if you're eating a little piece of toast, most dogs are going to be okay with a little piece of bread. Small amounts of like popcorn. We've got a dog that just loves popcorn, and we'll give him a couple pieces of popcorn. Usually, that's not going to be a big issue with most dogs. Those crackers and stuff like that. But yeah, I think the main thing is greasy and fatty stuff, stay away from. And then also raw food. Sometimes people think that it's good to give dogs raw meat, and we've had a lot of dogs get sick from raw meat. So I think you still have to make sure that the foods are processed, cooked well, and make sure they're safe for the dogs and cats.
Well, that's good to hear. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
This has been a lot of fun. Definitely learned a lot of good things that we can all remember, especially on what happens this time of year to animals, and also how to feed them and what not to feed them, I think, are big things for us to remember on animals' health. As far as future guests, we're going to be talking about spiritual health coming up. We're going to be talking about heart health, reproductive health. We have a lot of other specialties that we're going to talk about how to improve health in those areas. And I want to thank everybody for joining us again, and thank you, Dr. Matt, for
thank you.
joining us on this. And thank you guys for spending time investing in your health. So have a great day.